So you think you're alone, right? Well, you're not. Trust me, you're not. Come on, I'll prove it to you. Hi, my name is Daryl Phillips, and this is a bipolar perspective, a presentation of Noir Apologia Gaming, and this is the last element you're going to need to understand about this soup you're going to make. This is the bowl, basically. Okay? Remember, the soup's not the only thing, you don't pour soup on a counter, right? Okay, so the last part is going to tie all of it together. So we discussed, we went from desire, which is where it starts, to get the stuff off your chest, and then you have to fill it with something. So you have advice from somebody, okay? And I told you in the last video, no distractions, none, zero. You want to stay focused, Danielson. Oh, come on, that was funny, kind of stupid 80s reference. Anyway, point is, I just aged myself, actually. That's messed up. All right, so check this out. Last step, the bowl, right? What's the bowl? You cannot do this alone. You cannot do this alone. Those people who say, well, I did this all by myself. No, you didn't. There is no human being on this planet that's ever existed that's ever done anything by themselves. You can lift a log by yourself, maybe, if it's smaller. But you can't build a life by yourself. That isn't the way it works. And anybody who will tell you that they did it by themselves is lying to you. They're not giving credit to some people. Someone made them who they are. Radio personalities, Hollywood stars, actors, actresses, musicians, so forth and so on. Even myself. You think I would ever sit there and say, well, I did this all by myself because I'm from Texas? No. I'm a lot of things. I'm ugly. I'm white. I used to have a nice tan. Anyway, so I was just doing that venting thing. But the thing is, check this out. I didn't do it by myself. I would never in this lifetime claim that I did this by myself. In fact, if this really does do what I want it to do, y'all, you watching, you helped me. You will get as much credit as I do. This isn't about me. I fixed my life. I just want to help. That's it. That's all this is. But I cannot do this by myself. Oh, okay, I'm sitting there on the video by myself, sure. But how did I get here? Well, that's the part of my story that's amazing. I shouldn't be here. So I'm going to tell you a story that's fairly sad, to be honest with you. And I'm going to talk about a little bit in detail real quickly something that happened to me in 2013, okay? Now I've said this, I've mentioned this, but I didn't really go into detail about it. I was having stomach issues, okay? And I had already started changing my life, but it was slower, let's just say. And I was still doubting myself. And in fact, I had actually, right around the time that this happened, I actually had a backslide. I started drinking a little bit heavier again. I had some situations happen, and let's just say things didn't work out with my family like I wanted it to, and I let it affect me bad, really bad. It was sad, actually, and I went backwards, like not 2 steps or 3 steps, probably 4 or 5. But then, so I'm sitting there at my computer and I was playing Assassin's Creed 3. Good game, by the way. And I got hungry, and one of my snacks is I don't know if you guys have ever had Valentina. It's a salsa. It's really good. It's hot, but I eat salsa and chips. Well, I got hungry, so I ate that. And all of a sudden, about 15 minutes later, I had the urge to throw up. Not nausea. Just, I felt like I needed to throw up. And I went to the bathroom, and I did that. And at first, keep in mind, Valentina is red. It's not like salsa, like chunky salsa or anything like that. It's just red. So I was unaware that it wasn't Valentina coming out of my mouth. Yeah, it was at first, I mean, obviously. And it was blood. And it wouldn't stop. And then I wasn't throwing up anymore. It was just coming out of my mouth. For 15 straight minutes. 20 straight minutes. I didn't think it would ever stop, honestly. I thought it was dead right there. I didn't have to bring my phone with me because I didn't think I needed it. Well, I tried to stand up. It finally stopped. And I tried to stand up, and I immediately went to the floor. Just passed out just about. Okay? And I was like, oh my God, I'm in trouble. Crawled myself across the floor, through the bedroom, into the living room where the computer was, and tried to grab my phone. And I'm telling you, at this point, because I tried to stand up one more time and it just wasn't gonna work, so I had to crawl. And I tried to grab my phone. I'm telling you, dude, I was so delusional. I was such blood loss that I saw like 5 hands, like it was in slow motion, like trying to grab my phone, and it was so weird, right? And then I remembered something that my little angel told me about blood loss and about positioning yourself properly so you don't pass out. Because I knew I needed to call 911. I knew the second I got that phone, but I couldn't even remember I couldn't remember my name. I couldn't. So I called. So I get on my back and I put my legs up, like kind of like, up or whatever, so that I wouldn't pass out. And I call, and I couldn't answer their questions. Sir, where you at? I could hear them. And I'm like, just follow my GPS. That's the only thing I can say. And then I really honestly wish, for this video's sake, that I could play you the 911 call. I wish I could get the 911 call. Because the only thing I can say out of my mouth is I'm dying. Because I was. And so I felt like I needed to throw up again. But I realized, wait, they can't get into the door. So on the way, I had the mindset to actually unlock the door on the way by to go back to the bathroom. Then I guess I don't really remember much after that. Honestly, I remember a little bit in the ambulance, and then I don't really remember much after that for like 6 hours. Honestly, by the time everything was all said and done, they had to give me. So for 3 days, the first 3 days, it was real dangerous for me. They tied up my stomach, clipped it up, and stopped the blood. But they weren't even sure that was going to work. They weren't sure if there wasn't going to be surgery. And so, by everything all said and done, it was 5 liters blood, I do believe. 5 pints, whatever. It was a lot. It was a bunch. I actually have a picture of it. There's a picture of me, a sick picture of me. In fact, I didn't mean to do this. I actually posted it on Facebook when it happened. When I was in the hospital, I had a tube in my nose. In the background, you can see the giant vat of blood in the background that's coming from my stomach. It's disgusting. I didn't mean to do that, but it's okay. So I didn't tell you that sort of to have you feel sorry for me. There's a point to this. That happened, and everything changed. Because when I never believed those stories ever. I saw my life flash before my eyes and crap like that. I'm like, yeah, right. Oh, sure you did. Yeah, I did. The only thing I could think about is I'll never see my significant other again. I will never see my son because situations which I will get into at some point. I was not talking to his mother, and I wasn't talking to my son either. Okay, at the time, I wasn't able to take care of him, so I just nope. And I realized things got to change now. So I worked and I isolated myself. That's what I had to do. I'm not telling everybody else that they had to do that, because I did have somebody to talk to. So I had my soup, as it were, but I needed to do that by myself. I had to disassociate myself with everybody. I couldn't talk to my family anymore. None of that. I had to have no distraction in this, because I almost died. I almost never did this. And so it'll get you to think differently when something like that happens. My mom passed away, and that was bad. And my sister passed away, and that was bad. That was the year my son was born. But this was a whole different can of worms. Man, it was bad. And you know what's funny about that? That has given me the drive I will ever need to know that's possible. And I have had problems ever since. Like I said, I have stomach issues that just are so debilitating. It's not even funny. However, I suffered through it. And this is so important, because I see so many hopeless people out there. And you don't have to be hopeless. You don't. You don't have to be hopeless. You can be you. And this is how you can do it. This is how you made the soup. Now it's time to eat it. Because now your journey begins. Once you have this once you have this in place, your journey's now about to begin. And this, depending on where you're coming from, either it's going to be the hardest journey you've ever made, or it's going to be just something different for you. Either way, if you're willing to travel it, I'm willing to help you. And along the way, you can still help me too. Every day, I'm not. There's never going to be a time where I'm at my peak. When I'm dead, maybe? I don't know. In other words, I will never be satisfied with this, which is only going to make me better. In other words, you can give me compliments and do all that stuff all you want to, but I won't be distracted by it. It's never going to be good enough, and it's never going to be good enough for me, because I know I can do always better. And that never was my mind frame before. It was always, I'm not good enough. Oh, let's just stop doing it. No, I will never stop doing this, ever. And that's why. Because I had an experience, and I survived it. And now I'm just a different person. I'm just not even the same person anymore. And I wanted to figure out how I did it. Because no one else got through to me. And I don't understand why it happened. But then I thought about it, and this is how it happened. This is exactly how it happened. And it can happen for you. You can become a different person. If you're a person with problems, if your person is homeless, you can get off the streets like this. Drive, ambition, getting the stuff off your chest, getting the crap around you away from you, taking good advice, and then following it with no distractions. None. And realizing that you're never alone, even when you think you are. And if you think you are, You know where I'm at. I'm right here. And I'm not going anywhere. Well, I mean, we all are going to die eventually. That is a fact of life. But you know what I mean, right? This is not going to go anywhere. What I'm doing, and I hope to God that I'm successful in setting what I think in my head. When this gets completely done, and I have everything set in place, I want this to last long after I die. I want this to be something for people to go to and have hope. Have people believe in them again. So, now that you have your dinner or your car, you can't eat your car though. That would be really weird. I mean, you could eat your car that's messed up. I mean, but why? Driving your car though. You have it ready. Let's go. May the Lord of Light bless you in all things. See you later. I had bipolar disorder and PTSD, and I was in that position. I was a broken man 15 years ago, and I fixed my life. And everybody talks about changing this world, and so forth and so on, and everybody talks and talks and talks, and they never do anything about it. Well, here I am. I'm going to do something about it. I'm tired of the misconceptions about mental disorder. I'm tired of the directions that some people try to give to people with real problems in life. Really examine your life. Want to without knowledge is ignorance. If you don't know what it's going to take, if you don't know why you're doing things, why you want to change your life, there is no there's no point to it. I want to create desire in you to change your life, especially if you have been abused, if you have been told all your life you're a loser. You should examine why that is. I was a loser. You understand? Like 15 years ago, I really was. You do need advice. You can't have just one set of eyes on your life. You have to have perspective, and you might not want to hear it. Do you think I wanted to hear that I was a loser? I didn't even want to hear it. I didn't want to hear it. That's why I drank so much. Good Lord, I was an alcoholic because of it. I didn't want to deal with life. So check this out. Like, I didn't believe in myself. I hid myself for so long. I don't want other people feeling like that. I know what it feels like to be you. I really do. But you don't have to be.